Hi guys, this is episode 1 of the TY Takeover. I'm Myron Davidson and I'm joined by
Fiach Byrne,
Eve Johnson,
Karen O'Brien, and Ella Redmond.
and today we've a various amount of topics and the theme is Carnew Going Global. So I think to start things off, we'll talk about the ski trip.
Recently, there was a ski trip to the Alps in Italy over the midterm. I believe there was 50 students and 5 teachers that went on the trip. And here we have an exclusive interview with one of the teachers, Mr. Fitzgerald.
I'm joined by Mr. Fitzgerald and Fiach, and we're just going to ask him a few questions on the recent class-free ski trip.
Well, sir, how are you?
Well, lads, how are you getting on?
Not too bad.
So, overall, how did you find the ski trip?
Ski trip was a huge success. There was 50 students ranging from 2nd to 6th year. Travelled to Andalo. It's in the eastern part of the Alps, about an hour and a half from Verona. So it was brilliant. There was a mix of people from very good skiers to people who had never skied before. So the very good skiers just took off as they normally do, as they were able to ski. Then there was some beginners by the end of the week who were comfortably going down some fairly difficult rides, which is very good progress.
Yeah.
In fairness now.
And that wasn't the first year you went. You went last year as well, didn't you?
Yeah, it was our second trip in a row, and we're currently in the process of organising one for next year as well. So 2 years in a row, 2 very successful trips. Nothing dramatically negative or anything to discuss, very, very, very successful.
No injuries or anything, no?
This year there was no hospital visits. There was a few bangs and scrapes here and there, alright, but that's part of the process when you go skiing. If you go skiing and no one falls and gets a bang or hurts themselves or falls awkwardly or gets tired or blisters or something like that, there's something wrong. Like, you're obviously not skiing enough. So
and personally, what was your favourite part of the trip?
My favourite part of the trip was the last day. I've two bits. The last day where I brought so we started lessons at 11 o'clock and we started skiing that morning at 8:30, and I brought 4 or 5 girls who at the start of the week weren't able to ski. They'd never skied before, and I brought them down a really long red slope, thinking that it was going to take a long time and it was going to be really difficult and they were going to fall loads and stuff like that, but they actually didn't. They flew down it, and I suppose I wasn't going full tilt or anything, but I was going at a nice pace, and they were well able to keep with me. So that was one of my highlights. The other highlight was there was a particular group of gentlemen on the ski trip. They were mainly made up of TY's 5th years and 6th years, and I suppose they felt that they were good enough to do a black. But we decided that myself and Mr. Douglas, Mr. Haggerty, decided that they didn't have the skill level or the ability to do a black. Along with the black is the most difficult one. Yeah.
Oh.
So you need to know what you're doing. But the lads got very offended and very upset and very wound up by this. Now, I probably have done a black myself at a lower level of skiing than them, but it was just funny the way they were very upset. Their reaction to not being let go on the black was hilarious, in fact.
And did you do anything to embrace the Italian culture while you were there?
Oh, well, sure, 3 times a day, every day. Breakfast, lunch and dinner. So we had every morning, in fairness, personally I'm a big fan of Italian food, so I was happy enough, but we had an Italian buffet for breakfast every morning. Then we had generally pizza or pasta at lunch, down at the bottom of the slopes, and then back to the hotel for a selection of small Italian meals in the evening time. But again, range from pasta to we had a lot of pasta, I suppose.
And then afterwards, in the evening time after skiing, did you do any activities to keep yourselves occupied?
We did. On the Monday evening, straight away after skiing, so at the bottom of the slope there's a go-kart track. So the 55 of us, 50 students and 5 teachers had already pre-booked to go on the go-karts. Now it was temperature was high. It was meant to be ice karting, but there was no ice, like, because it was 6 or 7 degrees down at the bottom. But it was I have to say, it was very entertaining. There was a lot of donuts, a lot of go-karts going out of control. A lot of competition because you were timed as well. I actually think Stuart Davey got the quickest lap out of the whole school. So well done, Stuart.
Competition everywhere anyway.
And then other nights we had we watched Tuesday night. There was a Champions League game on. We got that put on. There was a games room, we called it, in the hotel. I think it was Celtic and Bayern Munich. So that was being watched. If they didn't want to look at the match, there was 30 seconds being played, 45 snap, Uno. We went swimming on Wednesday. So straight after skiing, the girls went in one group. So between when we finished up skiing and went to dinner, and then the lads went after dinner. It was very nice. There was a big outdoor thermal pool. It was it really helped with the skiing the next day, as the legs do get sore.
Yeah, recovery.
Yeah.
I think we're finished up there now. Thank you very much for your time.
No problem.
Sorry. I think we can all agree the ski trip was a great success. I'm just wondering, are any of you interested in going?
I definitely have a think about it anyways.
Yeah, from what I've heard, it's been all really good and they all loved it, so I'd think about it.
Yeah, and it's not just skiing, they even went go-karting too, so it's a lot of different activities anyway, which I think is very good.
Moving on to the home ec trip. So this year, the home ec students got an option to go on a 3-day trip to Sorrento, Italy. During this trip, they got to try various different Italian foods, and they got to see how it was like in a professional kitchen. So we got an interview with both Miss Hickey and Miss O'Neill, who both went on the trip. So here that is. It's Ella Redmond here.
Eve Johnson, Karen O'Brien.
And we're here to interview Miss O'Neill and Miss Hickey on their recent trip to Sorrento, Italy for home ec. So guys, how was the trip?
Yeah, the trip was really enjoyable. All the students had a great time. It was very jam-packed, the itinerary. We did a lot during the trip. So yeah, overall it was a really good experience. It linked in with home ec really well. So we went to a cheese farm. We went to a gelato demonstration where the students actually got to make their own ice cream. We visited Pompeii. What else did we do, Miss O'Neill?
The cooking school, Mum Lucia's cooking school was another part. And that was probably my favourite part of the trip as well. It was the trip to Mum Lucia's cooking school. We went there 2 evenings in the week, and the students made pizza the first night, and then the second night they got to make their own gnocchi, which is a form of pasta and potato.
Oh, lovely. And what was your favourite food that you've made?
That is a hard question because there was so much nice food during the week. Oh my god. I would say probably the best food was the gnocchi that the students made. It was really nice. So it was like a traditional Italian dish which is made with so it's like potato pasta, so it's a little bit of a different texture, and it was different for the students. It was something new to them, and they all really enjoyed the tiramisu as well, which was nice.
Oh, lovely.
How do you think it benefited the students by going on a trip? It definitely did benefit the home ec students as they got to immerse themselves in the Italian cuisine and the Italian culture. They got to see how the Italians made their staple dishes of pizza and pasta. They also got to see how gelato was made. So a lot of different principles and processes that we look at in home ec were discussed when we were looking at the different types of food being made on the trip.
Great. And the real question is, would you go again?
Yes,
Definitely,
definitely, go
definitely.
again.
Not traumatized then?
No.
Okay, guys, thank you so much. It was really enjoyable getting used to talk, and thank you. Okay, so overall that trip sounds like a very good trip, and I hope they do it again next year so we can go. So now we have Eve, who went on the German exchange.
So last year I went on the German exchange. We went to Munich for 3 days, and then we went to a town in Bavaria for 7. But overall, I think it was a really good trip.
Okay, so what was your favourite part of the trip?
My favourite part of the trip was probably going to Bayern Munich, the stadium. We got to get a tour, and it was just really interesting.
That's so cool. And what was your favourite food there?
My favourite food there was probably the schnitzel. It was kind of like I don't know, a mix of lots of different meats together, and had lemon with it. And they had a drink over there called Spezi, which is a mix of orange and Coke, and it's really nice.
So would you say your German improved over the trip?
Definitely. We had to use it to order in restaurants and stuff, so improved on general German.
And you stayed with a German family over there, didn't you? Did you learn anything from them?
Couple of traditions and stuff like that. We came over just after Oktoberfest, and they were wearing their traditional dresses and trousers, and it was interesting to say the least. Myron, you went on the French exchange. How was that?
Yeah, I got the opportunity to go to French exchange last year. I thought it was similar to Eve, a very great experience. You know, you're getting a taste of the French culture and all. And we also stayed with a family, and even their houses and all are very different to over here. So you just learn a lot of French, and obviously you eat a lot of French food, which is very nice. So.
What was your favourite bit of French food?
Well, I'd probably have to say the croissants when we went to Paris. They were very, very nice, and as well as the pain au chocolat. So we were fed well.
What was your favourite part of the trip?
I'd have to say at the end of the trip we did a soccer match, the Ireland versus France, which I thought was very enjoyable now. We won anyway, so that's just a bonus. And I think, don't we have some German exchange students over here at the moment?
Yeah, they've been here since September, and I think they're leaving in March.
Yeah. They're learning, 3 weeks they're over here for, I think. And we also have this year's French exchange over here too, so I think they arrived last Friday, so they'll be here for a while anyway. They're experiencing what we experienced. So. And I think we also had some students even go off to Africa this year, Fiach.
Yeah, there was. Recently, there was a trip to Gambia with Self-Help Africa, which Rosales and Saren Byrne went on. And here, I've interviewed Rosales to tell us more about it. Hello, I'm joined by my sister Rosales here, who went on the Self-Help Africa trip to the Gambia. So, hello, Rosales.
Hi.
Can you tell us what exactly did you do over there?
So we went with Self-Help Africa, who are an organisation who want to promote agriculture in a sustainable way for families to make a profit of their produce and not just to survive off it. So we went over to the Gambia, which is in West Africa, and we visited projects that they have set up across Gambia that to encourage farmers to use sustainable and effective practices. So we went to the likes of an onion farm where they have set up a whole field of onions, and they have an irrigation scheme set up with a big water tower as well. It was very interesting to visit all the places.
Did you find the trip difficult in any way, maybe to communicate with people, or language barrier?
Actually, I found it very easy because they actually all speak English over there. Their official language is English, but I also found it very interesting that when they're speaking to each other a lot of the time, they have their own native languages. So 2 examples are Mandinka and Wolof. But some areas speak Wolof, some areas speak Mandinka. So if they want to communicate with each other, they use English. And through education, if they go to school or they go to college, they learn everything through English as well.
Alright, so they're quite bilingual.
Mm-hmm.
Did you find it hard to adjust to the environment or culture over there? Was it different from here?
I suppose maybe the first day, I'd say I found it a little bit difficult, especially because we came in at night time, so it was a big adjustment and we didn't really know what we were getting ourselves into. But as soon as daytime hit, we kind of set out of the hotel and had a look around. It became quite enjoyable, and especially the markets where they do a lot of bartering, which is like discussing prices for stuff, is actually quite enjoyable, and they enjoy it themselves. That I found quite enjoyable towards the end of the trip. And I wish I had more time over there, to be honest, as well.
Yeah. Do you have a favourite part of the trip overall?
Probably my favourite part is when we went to the cooking demonstration, which a whole village cooked millet for us, which is like their type of porridge. It's a lot sweeter than ours, and this fish dish was actually quite nice but very, very spicy. But my favourite part of it was when all the kids came and gathered around, they got their food, and then we had to entertain them, so we did the Macarena with them, we played soccer with them, and it was mad. Like, you could see the fascination on their faces, kind of like we're not the people they see every day, but yet they're so friendly and welcoming towards us. And I even remember with the older women, they were teaching us how to bunch parsley and coriander maybe, or I think it was to sell to the markets, and that's their living, which and they were happy to teach us how to do it, which was really fun actually.
Yeah, so overall went well?
Yeah, really well.
Right, thanks Rizal for your time. I'll see you around, I suppose. Yeah, so that was Rosales there. Great experience for her, once in a lifetime kind of thing. So that was great.
And I'd say there was a big difference between Ireland and Gambia too, with like all the culture and all the different language and all.
Oh yeah, sure. She said it was just completely different culture, kind of a culture shock to her, you know, completely different to home. So.
Yeah, I can say anyway that it's probably been a good year for students and Carnew for travelling. We've probably been to nearly every corner of the world at this point. We also got to share our traditional music with the trad trip. So Karen, what did you think of that? Because you went on it.
I thought it was really good. We have a trad band and we got to go to Sitges. Here we got to stay for 4 days and spend the time playing trad music. We went to workshops with famous trad musicians in the evening. And we also went to a primary school to play music for the children.
And was the weather as good as over here, or was it?
No, it was raining on the last day, so we didn't get to do our parade through the town.
And there's also more trips to come for TYs. We have a Killary trip coming up in 2 weeks, which everyone is excited for, are they?
Yep.
And I think that's over in the west of Ireland, over near Galway, I think. So it'll be a long bus drive, but I'd say it'll be very worth it for all of us. And I think we do a lot of activities, don't we, outside?
Yeah, we do. Look, it'll be a great trip, you know, get outdoors, you know. We're not allowed on the phones there, so we'll have to, you know, socialise and talk with each other. So we'll have a podcast out after that talking about our experience. And also we have a trip to Italy in the summer to Lake Garda, so that should be brilliant.
Yeah, and I'm not too sure what we're actually doing there, but I'd say it'll be fairly action-packed and to do with the Italian culture as well.
I think one day we're going to Gardaland, which is like a theme park. So that'll be really cool to go to.
Well, you're always kept busy on these trips anyway, so so we'll have a lot more to talk about on Lake Garda and Killary on the next episode.
Right, that's all we have time for today. Our next episode we'll be talking about the senior ladies All-Ireland semi.
Hopefully a final by then.
Yeah, our YSI Pros test, TY Drama, and the new hockey team which Miss Byrne and Miss Lancaster have started up. So thank you for listening and goodbye.